Hi everyone, my name is Janet, aka PerkiPerkins, and today on my channel I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. As some of you might have noticed, I've been gone for the last almost 2 months at this point, and I wanted to do a chit chat, get ready with me slash kind of like a story time, kind of discussing what's been going on basically the last 2 months. For all of those, for my returning subscribers, thank you guys so very much for joining me. I am so thankful and appreciative for you guys coming back and checking out my video. And if you guys are new, I hope you guys will continue to stay and subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of fun content coming up very soon, and I think for now I'm going to be committing to posting once a week. So I'm going to make my commitment and start posting videos once a week, and I'm also considering doing lives as well. All right, but let's get to it and let's start this video. And let's go. Featured in the video, all the products that I use in the video, I'll make sure to list them down in the description with links if you guys do choose to purchase any of the items. I would be very grateful, as I do make a small commission if you guys choose to use my links, as they are affiliated. It doesn't change the price for you guys, but again, it does help me out and support the channel. But let's start off with a little primer. So I've been gone for 2 months, and you know, there's a lot of it that had to do with mental health, then medical issues, and going through a deep depression as to why I'd been gone. Oddly enough, the other day I did attempt to film a video, but as I got towards the end, I realized I was just rambling way too much. I mentioned in a previous video that we were getting ready to move. We're very excited, and you know, yeah, we were starting to pack up stuff. I'm not going in order, I'm just kind of going as things kind of come out, but again, I'm trying to centralize it just within the last 2 months. We were able to pretty much kind of get a new place. It's a new place for us, but it's an old house. We were supposed to be into the new house by this week, oddly enough, as I'm filming. There's been so many delays out of our control, and that just really has messed me up, like mentally. Partly that's really affected me mentally, because you know, we're ready to leave. We want to get a bigger house. We want to be able to have a yard. You know, our kids have their own private place. You know what I mean? So right now we're pretty much dealing with the whole housing situation, having to wait an extended period of time, which we're not 100% sure how long that will be, whether it's another month or 2. It's just very frustrating when, you know, you have plans. Yes, we gave us a wiggle room, but I guess not enough. And I'm one of those people that things will affect me really harshly. Like, has been my family always tells me I need to stop doing that because that's not good for my health, which is not, because it's literally, it will not only cripple me mentally, it will cripple me physically. So it just starts like a chain reaction. So we're dealing with all this stuff. Mentally it's messing me up, but I'm trying to keep on going. You know what I mean? I keep on trying to move forward. I keep on trying to create content, kind of trying to distract me. You know what I mean? But for me, it just really messes me up. Again, it just makes it very hard. And I started noticing that I was getting actually physically way weaker. It got to the point where I physically couldn't move. Like, I was so tired. I had no strength. I was like, kind of like, I literally had no strength to even get around the house, go to the grocery store. It was something felt like was really wrong. I went to urgent care first, hoping it was just something minor, and they were no help. Like, ugh, our health systems suck ass. Like, they really do. I have such a gripe with their health system, it's ridiculous. By the time they pretty much ignored me, and they were like, well, you got to go to the hospital or go to another primary so that they could do lab tests. and see what's really wrong. And that just makes me more frustrated. I waited about a week until finally I started having like pain in my back. Like I was starting to feel like pain in my bones, you know? So I go to the hospital because I'm like, at this point, it's hurting. Like at this point, not only am I weak, I'm having physical pain. Guys, I just got this and I've only used it one time. I was trying to make a review video, but I picked up shade medium, by the way. I go to the hospital that's nearest to me. I hate the hospital, but I'm like, at this point I have no choice because I don't know what's going on. I just had an insurance change and it's taking forever. And it takes forever just to get your first appointment with the new primary. Anyone that's ever dealt changing from a PPO to an HMO and then your primary doctor doesn't take your insurance, it's a pain in the ass. And paying cash out of pocket for a doctor's visit is ridiculous. Like I'm basically been in the middle of waiting for a new primary care doctor to see me because my previous doctor does not take our new HMO plan because he's also considered a specialist. So it's like there's so many layers to it. And to see the specialist slash doctor of mine, it would be near $500 to go get treated or just to go get a checkup. Anyone that's gone to the hospital knows it's a pain in the ass and it takes a long ass time before you even go in to speak to like the registered nurse when you're getting checked in to go over what is going on. They don't automatically admit you. And then to top it off, like the hospital, I noticed they're not really following COVID protocol because they had what I felt like they had everyone mixed in and it scared the bejesus out of me. I had a mask and all that stuff, but I definitely saw people that were sick where I was like, holy moly, like these people couldn't have COVID and it can make it worse. So, you know, I kept on waiting outside so that there was less chances of me getting sick. This shade is Encourage. It's one of the newer ones that launched in December. Control. For best control of the application, always put it on the back of your hand or one of those little dishes. After waiting seriously like almost 5 hours, I was there like 4.5 hours, I finally get to go back and talk to the registered nurse and tell her what's going on. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I go over my medical history and this woman tried to dismiss me right away and telling me that I need to wait for my primary doctor to get seen. That basically that the hospital was only there for emergencies if I was like dying or something. That all they can do is give me Tylenol for the pain. I'm like, I'm not asking you for painkillers. I'm seriously wanting to find out what's going on. Personally, I felt like my physical pain was being caused because I felt something was going on, that it wasn't just pain. Like, I'm not asking you for medication. I'm asking you to find out what the fuck is wrong. Excuse me for swearing, but I do swear from time to time. This woman made me feel like shit. Like, it was so bad. Like, I went in there feeling bad. I was literally made to feel worse. Like, she made me feel like I was being like an addict. Like I was, you know, going in there for asking her for meds and stuff. I started crying. I'm like, dude, you guys, I just billed for like however long my medical history. I waited here for hours and you guys won't even do a blood test. You guys won't do an x-ray, whatever, you know. You guys won't check me. You guys were literally, they were getting to discharge me. And I never even made it in for blood work. Like literally just at the registration, that's where I got to. Where the person, I think because of COVID, they had to change a lot of protocols. So now they have the person like this little person like screening people. Like I only got to the screening part and they were already like, wait for your doctor. She spent more time, this nurse, registered nurse, spent more time trying to say that, you know, that's how it is, you have to wait so long, and then basically saying, I personally, you know, I'm waiting for this doctor to see me. You know, she said the type of doctor, not the doctor. And it's taking 3 months because I'm a new patient. And I'm like, but that's not the point. If I'm here, I'm in the emergency room, it's because I want you to find out what's going on. I want you to check me. So I started crying because at that point, when you're in pain, you're not being heard, you're not being seen. What else can you do, right? So I kind of started crying. Yep, I started crying. So another, I don't know if he was a nurse or a doctor. I don't think he was a doctor. I just think he was like another registered nurse. He starts trying to be the good cop. And he goes, so what's going on? And I have to slightly explain again. And I basically kind of called him out on it. I'm like, you guys are being pretty messed up. You guys are dismissing me. You guys didn't even run a blood test. You guys didn't do nothing. You didn't even check my blood pressure. You guys just basically told me to bounce and wait for a doctor's appointment. I'm like, imagine if something that could be found in my blood could be caught now, you know? So basically after I kind of like, I didn't blow up, by the way. I was still calm, but I was emotional. But I was like, you know, if something were to happen to me and I came here, you guys would be liable for not doing the proper protocol. They're like, we're so sorry, you know, we just assumed. I'm like, you shouldn't assume, you know, you shouldn't assume. So finally they sent in some labs, and then they were trying to send in for an x-ray of my neck. And I'm like, even when I got to the person in the x-rays, because again, I had to wait for another time. When you have nerve issues and then I have arthritis, you know, and I have like other issues, I know for a fact x-rays are not going to catch anything, you know. You need more like a CT scan or an MRI. But at that point, I'm just like, whatever. I just hope the blood work works, you know, and they could see something. I'm not sure exactly how many tests they ran, but they pulled out about 4 vials of blood, which isn't a lot because I've had other tests done in the past and I've had like 12, 13 vials pulled out. Sorry, turned off. So after they ran the test, they told me pretty much go back and wait in the waiting room. So I'm waiting. It literally took 2 more hours. 2 hours to get my results back. All right, fine. After 2 hours of waiting, and I couldn't leave the hospital, and by then I was starving because I had waited there for so long. They finally came out and they gave me my stuff. They're like, of course, the x-ray didn't show much except that I do have scoliosis, you know, I've had that forever. But my blood work does show that I'm basically having issues with my blood again. And I have an autoimmune disorder with my blood. So I'm supposed to get treatments once a year. And to be honest, because once COVID happened, lockdown, again, insurance changes, like things got very complicated where I wasn't able to get my yearly treatments like I'm supposed to. And typically, like there's a scale, there's a number scale that the doctors would use. Once I'm under the 12, I need a blood transfusion, because that means iron infusions that I get yearly are no longer working. Well, the doctor tells me I'm at a 7. My blood levels are very dangerously low, and so I asked the doctor, or again, whatever he is, and I'm like, can you guys do the infusions here? I mean, it is a hospital, so it should be available. And I explained, and he knows at this point my insurance situation and how it's changed, and I'm waiting for a specialist. to see my doctor. And this fool tells me, well, this is a hospital and we do not perform blood transfusions until you get to the number 6. So yeah, he cannot perform or submit for me to get my blood transfusion because I'm 1 point above. He goes, basically, I have to wait for the appointment with my specialist so that they could submit paperwork through my insurance for approvals. Which is BS, because if I had gotten it done at the hospital, yes, it's more expensive and a higher out of pocket, but because it would be considered as an emergency, the insurance would have had to approve it. They can't deny it. And so basically that's where I've been stuck at. I ended up going back to my old doctor, even though the money was ridiculous. At that point, I had no choice. I either keep on waiting because I can't see a specialist within my network until late July. So it's either wait till late July, risk getting more sick, or go to my existing doctor, and pay cash. So that's what we did. So that's what I did. After the hospital did nothing. They didn't offer not even iron supplements. It's like nothing. Like they didn't even do an IV drip. Like there was so many things they could have done to at least help me in the meantime. That did not involve other harsher drugs. You know what I mean? They refused to do. Like when I get a new job, for example, that is the first thing I ask for is, what is your medical coverage? Because it's not only me, it's also my family, And sadly, I have had shitty coverage in the past where the deductibles were so high. It was like, and we were paying an absorbent amount of money every paycheck. It was like, why am I even bothering? Like, why? I'm going to summarize with the Kosas. I've actually been liking this one much. I've been liking it a lot more recently for my under eyes. My skin has also changed quite a bit, where I have a lot more wrinkles. By the way, I'm trying to go very light-handed. So after all that time, they still did nothing at the end of the day, which is just proof how shitty our medical systems are. Like, I don't know. I've typically always had really good medical insurance. So right now, not having that is really messing with me. Like, at this point, it's really messing me up because I'm having a medical issue. Right now, I need my blood transfusion and I needed special medication so that it can help me in the meantime. For myself, just taking the over-the-counter like supplements and stuff, they help, but not enough. And especially with how dangerously low my levels are, I need medical, I need basically a higher prescription or higher dosage of supplements. I need something else that will help boost my immune system and hopefully help start building up some blood supply for me, because right now I don't have basically very much of it. So by the way, my eyes have been bad. Like I got a weird rash, like really bad, where it felt like it was burnt on my right eye. Then I had something minor on my left eye. So my eyes have been healing. So I don't think I'm gonna go in with product. I just put concealer to do my eyebrows. So the hospital was no help. again, kind of like what the doctor, nurse, whatever he is, RN, said, is they're only there for when you are literally dying. You are so falling apart, they can't transport you to your primary doctor. Even though right at the cusp of theirs, but under my doctors, they weren't still willing to help me out. So at that point, I finished at the hospital pissed off because all they sent me was like a discharge paper with no instructions. Because again, they didn't do shit. I called my doctor. I explained to them what happened. I explained to them what happened at the urgent care and at the hospital. They felt so bad about the situation. And again, in their case, I understand. It's because of the insurance. If they were to see me more than, let's say, a doctor's visit, like typically I get shots in my back to help with my scoliosis and the pain. If they would have seen me and I would have gotten those shots, my new insurance wouldn't have approved it because A, they're not in network, B, I had not gotten a pre-authorization. So the one and only good thing that came out of the hospital visit is I was able to get like a priority request, which all that means is instead of waiting months, I might only wait another week or two for an approval, but then I have to wait for an appointment. So luckily I was able to talk to my doctor and his office staff, and I explained to them what had transpired over the last few weeks, and they not only gave me like a discounted rate, kind of like to help me out, they were so that way they could see me, but at least it was fixed in the system and I won't get like a surprise bill like a month or two later. By the way, this blotchy spot right here, this is a acne breakout that I kind of picked, and now it's like a weird scar. It's like a weird scar now, and it's like, yeah, so I'm just starting like a new retinol treatment to kind of help reduce it, because I noticed it when I wore makeup yesterday, which was like the first time in a bit. So I'm gonna take the bronzer and put it on my crease just to warm up the eye and set the concealer so it doesn't look all weird and creasy. But I'm not trying to do much of anything on my eye. I'm gonna apply the BK Beauty lip liner and the Kosas lip gloss, or lip oil, sorry. I'm using the BK Beauty lip liner in Pink Lady. It's called it takes nearly another 2 weeks to actually see my doctor. So they got me in and stuff like that. They got me scheduled, but again, his appointments are pretty far out because so many people are finally starting to see their doctors or specialists, after being in shutdown for so long. But I'm happy. I'm finally able to see my doctor. Again, they already knew the stuff that was going on. So they were able to do like a secondary request to make sure there was no fight on getting the blood infusions approved, hopefully. They were also able to prescribe like higher dosage of the supplements that I would need and items that I would need to actually help boost my immune system a little bit and basically help my blood overall. After a few days, I was able to feel my energy picking up. I wasn't feeling in so much pain, and it's like, if the hospital would have just done that and helped me out for the meantime, it would have helped me get to the next step. You know what I mean? Because I literally shut down for so long. It literally messed me up for quite a bit with everything going on. Again, there's just so many things going on in our lives right now, between the house delays, social media BS, because also at the end of the day, because I'm also here posting on social media, and there's certain things that happen behind the scenes that kind of like make me sad and disappointed. Like, yes, I was not feeling well, but I've had where a brand would back out of working with me because they didn't see me post for a week or two. It's like, instead of emailing me finding out, hey, what's going on, they just send me an email saying that they're basically not going to work with me after all. Like, instead of finding out like what's going on behind the human, I can still create the content. Most of the stuff I had negotiated was while I was not feeling well, so I knew I would need time to feel better. But there was like brands backing out or agencies backing out, and I even had companies that had offered to like send me product to review. Just I'm assuming they backed out, and they haven't sent me anything. No email, no DMs, no nothing to tell me, hey, you know what, we decided since you haven't been active, not to send you anything. No, just after they took all my information and like, we're excited to send you something, ghost. That's it. There's a few brands I was very excited to try out, and it was very disheartening because that goes into like the social media stuff and the value that brands bring to the creator. They see us as a dime a dozen, basically. To them, we're a dime a dozen. They're always going to go with the cheaper labor. They're not going to care about the quality. They're not going to care about the person behind it, whether they truly, I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so they don't care for the person, because at the end of the day, for them it's transactional. But they don't even care to find out like, hey, normally they post a few times a week, what's going on? Maybe we should just follow up before we just axe them out. So that's been frustrating as well, because at the end of the day, some of those were sponsorships, so they were paid deals, and some of them I lost for no reason, in my opinion. It's kind of like, as a content creator, can we not take time off if we need for our health? Because yes, I actually had content pre-done, pre-filmed. I just had no physical energy to actually sit there, edit, create meaningful captions, putting all the brands and tags. It takes a lot of mental capacity at times and energy to do all that, where I couldn't. And not only that, as a creator, and this is something that I explain to other people that don't understand, it looks easy, and many people just assume that, oh, if I make something, I'm gonna just post it and it's gonna get tons of likes and views and stuff. No, you want to be able to engage. You want to be able to engage with others, follow up on comments, and so on and so forth, for at least 30 minutes to an hour once posting. If I can't even commit to doing good edits and decent captions, do you think I would have had enough time to sit there and do all the things? No, I wasn't. So it would make me personally feel sadder to post content. It's gonna tank because I can't engage with others. Because also influence content creators, they will engage with you, whether it's a like or a comment, whatever, if you engage with them. So I mean, yes, I have my community of friends as well, that they'll engage no matter what, because I usually always engage either way. But others that are not in your little circle of group, it's a give and take. You give, you take. You give, they give. It's a trade-off. And just as a side note, I think I've commented many a times how my hair is really thin and brittle and it falls out a lot. That's why I only wash my hair like twice a week, or every so many days. a lot of it has to do with actually the nutrients and the vitamins and your blood. So for example, a lot of the stuff that's going on internally is what's causing my hair to have so many issues as well. So at this point, I'm just waiting for the approvals to basically get my blood transfusion approved. And once that's approved, I'll be able to go to like the cancer treatment center, so that way they can do the infusions there. At least that's where I used to get mine done, at Stanford. I love going to Stanford, the Stanford Cancer Center for my treatments, because they've always treated me so well. Like I started going there once when I was pregnant with my son, actually. So that's how I hope it's going to turn. Again, whole new insurance, whole new ball game. So I'm not 100% sure, but that's the request I made. So I'm hopeful. You know, so that's pretty much what's been going on. Again, I've had a lot of medical and mental health issues going on. I'm still currently in the process. I'm waiting. I'm trying to find out what's, I'm hopeful that once my stuff's approved that, I feel even better, because it's not fun feeling sick all the time. It's not fun not being able to do the most basic mundane things. You know what I mean? And again, for all of you who are back, all of you who are new, thank you so very much for watching. Sorry, it ended up being more of a story time of what the the hospital did not do. But anyways, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Hey, any tips, any advice, I would appreciate it. Again, if you guys like the tutorial or any of the products I used in my face, those would all be linked down in the description. And once more, moving forward, my goal is to post one video a week, at least for now. And slowly, as I'm starting to feel better, I start kind of pulling the reins in on myself. I'm going to try to go back to 2 days a week for now. But anyways, thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, be safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.